Hey there, guys. Here I am again, Maru Maharaj, up here in our YouTube channel to talk to you about appraisals. When an appraisal comes in low, this is your next real estate message. Whether you're a realtor or if you're a buyer or a seller, it can affect you. Our market is hot. The real estate market right now is steaming hot. And we have low inventory, many buyers. What's happening? Buyers are putting in above asking price offers, way above sometimes. What do? We can't help it. We're trying to get the house for our buyers. All right. But here's the reality check. What happens when the appraiser comes in and the appraisal comes in low? It's lower than the price you offered. What happens then? According to the National Association of Realtors, 1 in 10 deals that went low on the appraisals per month, 1 in 10 deals per month, was killed because of a low appraisal. All right. So that's something we need to really factor into when we're making our offers. So what happens when the appraisal comes in low? There are 4 things that can happen. One is the buyer can pay the difference in the value in cash. So coming out with cash, they're not going to finance that. 2, the seller can agree to the low price. 3, the buyer and seller can walk away from the deal, which hardly ever happens. That's the 1 in 10 from NAR. All right, but they can walk away from the deal. But if the buyer and seller are that motivated to get it, they'll find a way. Or 4, get another appraisal. All right, that as well is a gamble. What do you do if the other appraisal comes in differently? Who knows? All right, but that's something. It is an option. You do have that option out there. What happens if the appraisal comes in low? Different things can happen to the loan. Interest rates may change on the loan. The interest rates, if it went lower, maybe the interest rates will go up based on that. It will determine if you'll have PMI on your loan. Okay, it depends on how much the difference was. And would there be any cash out value on the property? So if you wanted to refinance, these are factors that you want to look at when putting in your offers. And these are things you want to prepare for if an appraisal comes in low. Now, can you challenge a low appraisal? Of course you can. You can challenge a low appraisal once you know what you're doing and once you understand what's going on. So first, understand how or why the appraisal value was determined. You need to figure out why this was done, how they came about these prices. Now, there are different factors that appraisers use. Sale of the price of similar homes. All right, so they're looking at comparables. The average time of the home other homes took to sell in your market. Price and value trends of homes nearby. Supply and demand of homes in your current market. Property condition. How old is the house? What upgrades were done? What about the square footage and the gross living space? Traits of the home including bedrooms. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? How many is the basement finished? The lot size is another one, and the property zoning. All right, these are different things they look at. The other thing is when they're looking at comparables. Did they use comparables that were from 6 months ago? And our market is so crazy right now and so different. 6 months ago, the prices of houses were not where it is now. So had they used that as a factor for coming up with their appraisal? These are things that you have to look at when you get the appraisal. Now, 4 steps to dispute a home appraisal. There are 4 steps to do this. The first one and most important one is get a copy of the appraisal. All right, get a copy from the lender. Now, according to the CFPB, that's the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, the mortgage lender is required by federal law to give a copy of the appraisal to the seller, sorry. All right, actually, they're required by law to give it to the buyer. Now, the buyer obviously will want to give it to the seller so the seller can understand it. So you all parties have to look at this, see if it was reasonable, look for errors in it, look for things like how long ago were the houses, did it sell, what comparables were they using, was it within the same neighborhoods. We all know neighborhoods change by streets. You know the area better than anybody else. We know many of these appraisers come in from outside of our areas, and they're doing appraisals based on just numbers, statistics. We know the neighborhoods. So you want to look at these things, look for the errors in these appraisals. You may know the properties that is being appraised. You may have shown them. So you understand the different conditions of these properties. Point out upgrades and improvements in the house. Point them out, and also point out upgrades or improvements or lack thereof in the comparables that's been used. And make sure that the appraiser knows the differences that has been compared, and they can see the errors that were made. The fourth point is you can request a second appraisal. Yes, you can get a second appraisal. It's a challenge, it's a gamble, all right? But if that is one of the options you have out there, if all else fails and you feel this is the way you want to go and get a second appraisal from another company, that's what you have to do. But remember, at the end of the day, the banks are only going to lend based on the appraisal. So if you can work with the other realtor that you're working with, whether you're on the buyer side or the seller side, work together. We're all trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to get the houses sold and have great experiences for our buyers and sellers. All right. So work together, try to get the job done. Don't be that 1 out of 10 monthly that a deal falls through because of a low appraisal. All right. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, feel free, reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to discuss them with you or help you along the way. All right. So don't forget, if you like what you hear, like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up on our YouTube channel, and looking out for you next time. I want to tell you, if here at Remax Oasis Dream Homes, if you're serious about real estate, we're serious about you. Bye for now.